Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folane. Today is supposed to be, or would have been, the date of the repeat national convention of the PDP in Port Harcourt, River State. However, right now, the venue has been sealed. It's not going to happen. And this follows what has become something of a judicial tango, or, it looks almost like a judicial battle for supremacy, because we have two high courts of what the lawyers refer to as coordinate jurisdiction between Justice Ibrahim Watila of the Port Harcourt Division and Justice Okon Abang of the Abuja Division. In the case of Justice Watila, he has ruled that the convention, the party's convention being organized by the Ahmed McCarthy-led National Caretaker Committee should go ahead, and he has ordered INEC, DSS, police to, show up and, just make the whole thing legitimate. Justice Okon Abang, for his part, has barred the convention from holding today, and indeed, at least it looks like that is where we're going, because reports reaching us say for sure the convention venue has been sealed. Now, you probably will recall that PDP became polarized following the May 21st, 2016 National Convention in Port Harcourt that sacked the Modu Sharif Convention, Modu Sharif-led National Executive Committee, and replaced it with a 7-man McCarthy National Caretaker Committee with a mandate to organize another convention within 90 days. So here we are. It was going to happen now, but I am hearing that in another couple of days or so, that 90-day window will be lapsing. Now that the convention certainly is not happening anymore, it remains to be seen how that is going to play out. Following the May 21st convention, both parties headed to courts, and there's been a litany of suits leading up to today. Well, to see if we can to see what sense we can make of this, because we probably would need 2 or 3 hours to get to the bottom of it all. But we have with us Mr. Jide Ladende. Mr. Jide Ladende is a secretary to PDP in Lagos, but then let us, clarify that by saying the Segun Adewale-led faction of the PDP in Lagos. Is that right, Mr. Ladende?
Very correct.
Okay. So thank you very, very much for coming.
Thank you.
Well, not everybody is going to be happy within the PDP with the situation we have today. But if I say not everybody is going to be happy, that doesn't include you or your faction. You guys are cool.
We are not happy either.
Okay.
It's a party. We are not happy either. We're not happy. It's just that the law will just have to take its course. Like I used to say, ordinarily, if we have, if the BOT, if they had done what they were supposed to do, we shouldn't have been in this mess. Let me refer you to the May 21st convention. Before that convention, there were 2 judgments. One specifically from Justice Buba, saying that that particular convention should not hold, and went further to say that elections should not be conducted to the position of chairman, auditor, and secretary. On getting this judgment, the chairman, then Modu Sharif, now said, look, there is no way. We were already in Port Harcourt as of that 21st, but with that judgment with him, he now called the NEC and said, look, I have 2 judgments stopping this convention, and that he is not ready to file the law. Because he doesn't have immunity. Mm-hmm. So he now felt that what we have to do is to call for the cancellation and then postponement of the convention, which he did. He called a press conference in Port Harcourt that very morning of the 21st. He has the right, after being given the approval by NEC, to call for the convention. Now, and with those 2 judgments from the same Federal High Court, Lagos, now said, look, we cannot go ahead with this convention. Let us postpone it. And the man did what he was supposed to do, and he left Port Harcourt with over 50% of the delegates. Now the governors now rally around with secondos. The deputy chairman to Sharif. Sharif never assigned any authority to him. Sharif never, you understand? They now came together and said the convention is going to go on. And there and then set up a 7-man caretaker committee being headed by McCarthy. Now my point is this. If they can now disobey the judgment of Buba before the 21st. Now, a Justice Liman in Port Harcourt, after the act had been done, now went ahead to confirm the caretaker committee. That was the beginning of the problem. And you know, it's so sad.
Okay, it is so sad. Let's
So
just
sad.
sort of sort it out, because the PDP is polarized. There are factions, but let's look at our reports. We have a couple of reports, you know, sort of detailing one side and then the other. We'll take those reports one after the other, just so we get our viewers can get a better sense of who they are, and hopefully, you know, there will be people who know a bit about it that will be able to call in. Let's take those reports.
The crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party reached another peak this Tuesday with the different rulings from the Federal High Court divisions in Abuja and Port Harcourt. In the ruling, Justice Abang ordered the police to enforce his order, which put paid to the planned convention. In the same vein, the judge directed Sheriff to obtain and fill Form 48 so as to commit anybody or group who may disobey court orders to prison. Justice Abang also took a swipe at Justice Ibrahim Watila of the Port Harcourt Division for dabbling into the PDP matter in spite of the pending one in Abuja. The judge said the Port Harcourt Division would have done well if he had referred the suit filed by Senator Ben Obi to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court for a directive instead of assuming jurisdiction the way the judge did. Apparently furious with the conflicting decisions of the two divisions, Justice Abang said the Port Harcourt Division has set the stage for a legal combat to decide which division should be obeyed. He added that the Abuja Division was not struggling with the Port Harcourt Division for jurisdiction because the Supreme Court has made it clear that when a situation like this arises, a judge should consult with the Chief Judge before taking any step.
In a situation where you have same subject matter, same party, should be entertained by 7 different courts, and even in the same division, turning out different judgments and rulings, and overruling each other. There was an embarrassing situation that happened in Port Harcourt today.
The application challenging the jurisdiction of the court was filed in the court registry, and the court registrar said he will transmit it to court. We are not officials of the court. That is the job of the officials of the court, to bring processes before the court. We did not expect that the failure will be visited on the person who filed the application. But again, that's the opinion of the court.
Today is a day of joy for the PDP. It is the beginning of greater things to happen in the party called PDP. With the issuance of 48 against INEC and against the defendant, it is now very clear that the convention cannot and should not hold.
The crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party reached another peak this Tuesday with the different rulings from the Federal High Court divisions in Abuja and Port Harcourt. In the ruling, Justice Abang ordered the police to enforce his order, which put paid to the planned convention. In the same vein, the judge directed Sheriff to obtain and fill Form 48 so as to commit anybody or group who may disobey court orders to prison. Justice Abang also took a swipe at Justice Ibrahim Watila of the Port Harcourt Division for dabbling into the PDP matter in spite of the pending one in Abuja. The judge said the Port Harcourt...
Well, there you have it. We have someone on the line already who wants to weigh in on the matter. Reverend Dominic, good morning.
Good morning, Chief. How are you?
Very well, Reverend Dominic.
Yeah.
This is a very serious matter.
Hello.
Hello, Reverend Dominic.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I said this is quite an interesting time in the life of our nation. There's nobody to blame here, but let me make this statement. If a nation like this, Nigeria, will move forward, everybody that matters must be concerned of the progress of that nation. I don't understand why Nigerian judiciary is this way. As a non-Nigerian, how can a court of the same level give complete judgment in one matter? If you remember in early 2000, when we had a election in America between Agor and the Judge Junior, we understand that the Judge Junior ran that election somewhere in America. But they went to Supreme Court because American judges are in the same understanding with every American to move forward. They gave a judgment that gave Judge Bush then to become the president, even in Obvious region of certain systems. What is our judges doing in this nation? Don't you know, don't know their own peculiar, peculiar state they comprise in Nigeria political lexical? Why should they give it this kind of judgment? Remember this was put us in Fort Myers in June 1993, where somebody shut down an election that was perfect. And from there we are here today. There is again, judiciary must find a way to help Nigeria to move forward. Early this year, Mr. President Muhammad Buhari cried out. Many of us don't understand him. That judicial will be a problem we have. Not to put Nigeria in the right path. Today, we are seeing it very clear that this judiciary does not mean well for Nigeria. There's not much to say. What I think that judiciary is supposed to be like a referee who is not partial, who could say this or that. But this, of course, we must explain this man very well. Whether he's right or wrong, they are creating commission in Nigerian state by his own judgment. This is my own contribution.
Well, thank you very much, Reverend Dominic. Well, you were saying that you yourself, you're not happy.
Yeah.
Because it's a mess, quite frankly, that we have on our hands. But it's almost as if the courts are doing the unthinkable, coming into politics.
Exactly.
Almost. I don't dare say that they have. But what other interpretation do you have of this, where you have courts of comparable, otherwise called coordinate jurisdictions?
Like I said earlier, I'm not a lawyer. But all I know, I would always like to start from the beginning. Like I said, before May 21st, there were two judgments. One from Justice Buba, saying, Justice Buba in Lagos, Federal Court, that convention of 21st of May should not hold. That convention of 21st of May should not hold. Some people went ahead to hold the convention and went ahead to set up a caretaker committee from there. Probably if they are listened to the court judgment, then we'd sit down together. You see, it's a pity, but I just want to say that it's good for our democracy. You know why? This is the first time we are trying to have a convention without a sitting president. I think that is a problem.
As a member of the party.
Of the party. That is the problem we are having.
Yes. Yes.
There is no eggs. You see people willing all sorts of powers they don't have, especially the governors.
Okay, 1 second, please, because Mr. Hassan from Lekki wants to come in on the matter. Good morning, Mr. Hassan.
Good morning, Mr. Eri.
Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, Mr. Ladendi.
Good morning. Good morning.
You see, this issue of my interest here is about judiciary per se. Now there is what we call a litmus test for Nigerian judiciary. And this is the confirmation of our fear about the last confidence of the common man. Judiciary has been playing all this along with the intelligence or insulting the intelligence of Nigerians. And we are seeing it at play today with contrary judgments given by different judges within the judiciary. Justice delayed is justice denied. One thing is happening with the judiciary. President Muhammad Buhari, he came out and cried loud and clear how his government has been frustrated by the same judiciary, where many people were caught under the web of the government, for the judiciary to perform its function and apply the necessary sanctions and punishment on the offender. Judiciary refused to do its job. Now we are seeing another thing at play now. The politicians have there found their own way into the corridor of judiciary by going to different courts and getting different judgments. And with this will mark the end of judiciary if care is not taken. And the only thing that remains standing within the three organs of government is the executive and judiciary. The National Assembly is a forgotten issue as far as people's confidence is concerned. But the judiciary, people still have respect because there are still some principled people within the judiciary that are trying to put things on its track. What we are seeing, people will engage the service of the SAN to truncate justice, as they have their own comrades within the judiciary. Let me take you the memorial, Mr. Yori. Something happened during the tenure of the former justice of Nigeria, Mutar. He said, please, enough of treating cases on technical ground. We should begin to treat cases on its merit. Because most of these SANs, so-called SANs, are truncating justice on the basis of technicality, not on the merit of the case. And Nigerian people are watching them. And the same way Nigeria descended on National Assembly, they will decide the same thing on judiciary. May God help us. Good morning.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Hassan, for calling in. You also recall that Modu Sharif has actually complained and has said that he's going to petition the Chief Justice and the Judicial Council.
Yes.
Because following from what Mr. Hassan was saying in there, in the courts is supposed to be final arbiter. When you go to the courts, that's the end of the so that you don't take self-help. But it's like the courts are not helping, they're complicating matters, if anything. Now, I was reading that INEC was confused before the confusion has been removed this morning by somebody sealing up the place.
Yes.
But Justice Watila did order INEC, DSS, police.
That was on Monday.
Yes, to make sure
that the convention rules and they should go there.
That they should go there.
Yes.
INEC should go and monitor, because if INEC doesn't go and monitor, it invalidates everything.
Yes.
Justice Abang now comes along and eventually criticized his
exactly.
How do they call it? Brother George. He actually criticized him.
Actually, before then, on Monday too, they were in court, and Abang had already given an order and said they should wait till yesterday for him to pronounce his judgment, which he did. You see, like I said, it's very unfortunate that this is happening to PDP. But at the same time, I think it's good. One, we are going to use it to test democracy. We are going to use it to test the integrity of our judiciary. I'm not happy as a party man. But instead of resolving to violence and what have you, I think it's better to go to court and try to sort things out. And for me, it's so sad. Like I said earlier, we are having so bad. We are not used to having convention and allowing people to go and vote their conscience. PDP is used to president calling, trying to sort one or two people. This is not the worst thing that has happened. It's just pronounced out now because there is nobody to cover it.
All right. One second, please. Mr. Labiran wants to come in. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much.
You, sir?
Very well. Thank you for calling in.
I'm so happy about the discussion, sir. This Mr. Olade is here. I believe with all what he's saying, I know him as a member of PDP and the former youth leader. What I'm saying is that it's a model sheriff group. That is why he's saying if it's not as a model sheriff group, he will not be saying this. I will the same court, give the same different judgment, and the court have power more than each other. That is my question to him. When he's saying that they should obey the court order of Obong. Obong is the same person that
Abang.
Yes.
Okay.
Abang is the same person that gives the judgment in Abia State that created that problem. I think that's such a question. They should suspend such persons, giving different problems in different countries. That's my contribution, sir.
Yes. Thank you
Can
very
I
much.
quickly say something?
Well, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Olabiro. Yes, I'm a PDP member. Yes, you can say I belong to Sheriff Group. But for me, this is very clear. Before Abang, I keep saying it, there was this judgment from the same federal high courts, the same status with that of Port Harcourt and Abuja, saying that convention that brought the caretaker committee should not hold. Nobody is saying anything about that. Somebody went against that judgment to hold the convention that gave birth to the caretaker committee. That is the crux of the matter as far as I'm concerned.
Now that is the crux of the matter. But as
Yes.
a party matter, as
Yeah.
a party man,
Yeah.
maybe could you just enlighten us? Why was there a problem with the Modu Sheriff situation election?
You mean the convention
Yes.
you called for me to, and that's I said some party members, some like okay, the national secretary, the position of the chairman, some national working committee members, officers, they went to court before the convention claiming that their term is yet to expire. They said their term will expire 2018. And because the party still, decided to go along with the convention, they now decided to run to court. Okay. And the court now stopped the convention that gave birth to caretaker committee. I will always want us to look it from that place. Liman came in later. Liman came in later when I call it illegal convention, that 21st of May, because there was a court judgment saying it should not hold. They went against the court to hold it. They went for that to set up a caretaker committee that was affirmed by Liman. Liman came in later. There was a Justice Buba judgment before 21. Nobody is saying anything about it.
Mazi Okorafor, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Yori. My name is Comrade Mazi Patrick Okorafor. Good morning, and good morning, our guest.
Good morning.
You see, what is happening today is PDP. I'll call it political power and political money also in PDP. So one faction for power, one faction for money. Now, you ask yourself, the judiciary we are talking about, Port Harcourt, Abuja, what do we have? The same judge, whether senior judge or junior judge, only God in heaven knows. They will give their own verdict and Nigeria will. Now you ask yourself, is that how we are going to operate in this country? A country like ours, you start asking yourself, the law school that people pass through, or they pass through, or the law school pass through them, is that what they go there to learn? When they come back, they say, that is why I've been saying it on this program, that the best option for Nigeria is all these courts across the 36 states plus Abuja, they should be water. That's how what the word internet system, globalization. So that when the verdict has been given in Abuja, it replaces all the 36 states of the federation. So that the judge in a particular will not be given different verdicts. It's still the confusion. Now, see the money that has been spent, hotel accommodation, etiquette. Now, in this country, people are crying of poverty, people are crying of food, people are crying of disease. Such money they have spent that has now been wasted to them. Can't we use that money and cushion the fate of Nigeria? Honest speaking, this issue, the way we are moving in Nigeria so politically, is not the way. Now look at what is happening in the US. Obama and Clinton. Obama and Trump. You have seen the two factions. Everybody has his own faction, everybody has his own. You see that they are now moving as educated people, and everybody, when you come, you talk to them. Now, do they argue? Do they come there to find themselves? But here in Nigeria, what you see that it's a power source which, if we don't take time, we are going to have what we call only one political party system, which is very, very detrimental to Nigeria, because Nigeria is supposed to have at least two opposition parties to work in hand with the existing party. It will now let Nigerian politics to balance and have respect. So now, Nigerian politics doesn't have respect, because as we are moving, because of our mentality. Now, as you are not presenting this program, you are looking at me, but you don't, but I see you. Now, you see the way you are listening, and you are listening. Is that how others operate? It's different. Now, you have to, what's the difference of going to school? The people that went to school, they are not going to behave as people who go to buy and sell from another market, come to our market of Anita. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day in Lagos.
Thank you very much, Mazi, comrade. Well, I don't know if you had anything to say about his saying that PDP is splintered along two lines, one for power, one for money. I don't know, which would you there belong to if indeed you accept that categorization?
I don't want to believe that categorization. It has to do with power, control of the party towards 2019.
That's what it's all about. But the way it is going,
the way they are going about it, definitely we want to believe that there are external forces. There are external forces.
External forces. The
yes,
PDP itself.
What are they fighting for? Honestly, I don't understand. Some people brought Sheriff to PDP. For Christ's sake, why did you bring him to PDP? Didn't you scrutinize him very well before bringing him?
Some people brought
him
from where?
to come and contest for this chairmanship position. And he did contest it and he won. And NEC ratified it. And the man all of a sudden, when he set up the convention, the people that brought him, they're having problem with him again. Something is wrong.
Well,
something is wrong.
Is that unusual in the PDP?
It's not unusual, but it's unusual now because there is no precedent. There is no that fatherly figure that will have settled it in a family way. Do you understand? You know, PDP's issue has always been settled in a family way.
This would have been a family affair that would have been resolved.
It's not much.
But now we need...
Because nobody is really... The elderly ones that you expect, you expected them to have called them to whip everybody to line. They are even struggling for position. So they are partisan. So what do you expect?
Okay.
It's just about people flexing muscles. And I'm sure we are going to sort it out. It's not going to break the party. I'm very sure of that.
Okay, we're going to quick break.
We are going to sort it out.
We're going to quick break. Please stay with us. We continue to take your calls, your opinions, your suggestions, your advice on this whole situation. Because the danger here is that PDP might weaken itself sufficiently for it to not even really matter anymore as an opposition, and that would be a catastrophe for democracy. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. It's the day that was scheduled for the repeat national convention of the PDP in Port Harcourt, River State, but that's been put paid to by the fact that it's been sealed. As you know, 2 courts of coordinate jurisdiction, one led by Justice Oko Nabang and the other led by Justice Ibrahim Watila. They have opposing judgments, and the long and short of it is that I don't know who came in because it had been ordered that INEC and everybody just go there and legitimize the whole place. But that didn't happen. Now it's been closed. Mr. Ladende is our guest. He's a member of the PDP. But he's also, it needs to be said, he's a member of, in Lagos State here, where we're broadcasting from, he's a member of the Segun Adewale-led, he's secretary of the Segun Adewale-led faction of the PDP. Who is the other faction in Lagos State, by the way?
Honorable Moshood Salvador.
Honorable Salvador. Yeah. So, okay, that's that. He is there. Now, and by the way, where does Mr. Jimmy Agbaje feature in all of this?
Honestly, I can't really say.
As a member of the PDP?
Honestly, I can't really. That is the truth of the matter. I don't really know because
Mr. Agbaje will be on the national level, but then I'm trying
of course, before you get to the national level, you must have your base. All I know is that when
Are you saying that Mr. Agbaje doesn't have a base in Lagos State?
No.
Okay, that's not what you're saying.
You said he's at the national. I said you're always coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
Before you understand,
but you say you can't be sure.
I can't be sure. His position. No, you are talking about 2 factions. Some people are talking about Sheriff, McAfee. I don't really know. All I knew.
And I just remember that Agbaje is a name that has been mentioned in recent times.
Yes. When Sheriff came in, when he was touring the old states, when he came to Lagos, Agbaje was with him. And now, this McAfee convention, Agbaje is contesting for national chairmanship. So, I've not been in touch, so I can't really say anything on the issue of our former gubernatorial candidate.
Are you concerned as an individual, maybe you can't speak for the party, but as an individual, are you concerned that the PDP could just implode in such a way that it won't really be viable as an opposition party anymore? Because when we closed, I was making the point that every democracy needs a vibrant opposition.
I'm concerned, but you see, there is nothing much I can do. We can only pray that sanity will come to our leaders and selfishness will be taken away from them. They will look at the larger goal, that is 2019, how to grab power back from APC. You think
that's a viable proposition?
It is very viable. We are just
you think that is a viable proposition?
It is.
The way at the state of PDP now.
We've had worse cases
that you overcame.
Have you forgotten the last convention, 2 conventions before the last about 5 governors walked out.
Okay, let's hear from Mr. Manuel calling in from Zaria. Okay. Good morning, Mr. Manuel.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank God today I can reach you because I've been following your program almost every day.
Oh, we're so glad.
So I'm calling from Zaria. First of all, the issue that is bedeviling PDP today is a very sensitive one, especially that has to do with the judiciary. It is embarrassing if you watch what the judiciary is actually heading for in this country. Because if the judiciary cannot fight for the national interest, we are talking of political parties that can put APC on the run and to be able to deliver on their promises. Rather, instruments that will have been the defense of the common man is being bastardized by this, and people still argue, taking interest to themselves as if, okay, I belong to Sheriff, for instance, our discussant there. Today, you shouldn't have been talking of Sheriff as a factor. What we should have been talking about is what can the judiciary do to save the common man on the street, not to criticize it in the first place. I used to tell my children, see, I fear law. I won't want you to read any law anywhere. Because as it is and is practiced in this part of the world, it is a discussion of the truth. And you can see the embarrassment it's bringing to the nation. And yet our leaders grant that PDP wins tomorrow and come back to power. What kind of government will they produce with this kind of injunctions? The same lawyers will be the ones that will be Attorney General of the Federation. The same way we are seeing now issues are coming up. They are not even thinking. Look at the issue of Kogi State, for instance. What have the judiciary done? Nothing. Now, look at the common interest everybody is pursuing there today. I belong to this, and somebody called in and said it's for money and power. Are we actually trying to dilute the fact that this crisis is about money and power? Nigeria is heading on it. So every day, if I listen to a program, where is the hope of the common man? I used to tell my children, your future is very difficult because the crop of persons we're having today will not help you. Please try to be on your own. If it's even possible, go and read law, come back and be a mechanic. Because as it is today, it will not even help you in the first place. Now, if the youth is actually speaking, the youth leader is speaking the way he's doing this morning, I don't think I'm happy. You should be worried about what is happening and not a thing of interest in the first place. Be worried as a man and as a nation and as a leader that you aspire to be worried for what is happening, not politicizing the issue. It's so painful to come from Lagos with enlightenment of that kind and you cannot be reasonable on air. Look at the issue. Every common man on the street today, you don't need to be the APC to be worried. You don't need to be any other political party to be worried. You are not worried. You are talking of interest. I belong there. I don't care. You must care for this nation if not, you are not worthy of a leader. It's so embarrassing. Thank you, sir.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Mr. Manuel, for calling in. You wanted to
Yes,
react?
I just want to react that it's very unfortunate that the last speaker, Mr. Emmanuel, I did not really understand me. People have gone to court. There's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing, and if PDP have not taken themselves to court, then they are the judiciary. Of course, nobody is happy with the way the thing is being handled by the judiciary. I said it earlier that if our leaders, if they have done what they were supposed to have done then we won't be in this mess. But for Christ's sake, we have taken ourselves to court. The law must take its course.
Yeah, but is the law taking its course?
Because
quite frankly,
listen,
as one paper put it, judges in show of shame over PDP convention.
What do we do as a party? We have taken ourselves to them. So it has to run its course. The appeal court is still coming again. That is not the end. So the issue of whether somebody...
Because the point was being made, I hear what you're saying, that look, you people took yourselves to court.
Exactly.
You expected the court to be the arbiter.
We are just putting things in correct perspective. The last speaker should listen very well.
Okay.
Somebody is saying that Justice Abang should be dealt with, Justice Abang should be done this way because a judgment had already been given by a court in Port Harcourt. I now said no. let's go back to the basis.
Okay.
There was a judgment
Yes.
before 21st
Yes.
of May.
Yes. And,
Does that make me a sheriff person? And if he thinks I hold no apology.
Okay,
The issue is trying to put the facts straight.
Okay.
Somebody started it. Somebody refused to obey the law.
Mr.
Before 24th.
Mr.
So
Marvelous.
What
Good
do I do
morning,
about
sir.
that?
Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Marvelous.
Please, I quickly want to talk about this topic, the PDP convention.
Sure.
To me, I feel that in the first place, PDP were the one that caused all this crisis. Because in the beginning, you made an in-law to Buhari, your PDP chairman. when you made him your PDP
Sorry. Go right again. I didn't hear that bit. Go again. What was that last sentence?
I thought you made Sheriff an in-law to Buhari, the PDP chairman, and you are still the party, you ride into a better ground or a greener pasture. That is a lie. You cannot make a mole in a bread, a chairman. You will not say that, the party should progress. That's what the problem started from. The guys sponsored the campaign, the paying workers, paying secretariat. It was going on in all the campaigning, saying that don't worry, next president, next vice president, and after you use the now dump him. It's not possible now. It is not done anywhere in the world. You expect him to go down. One thing I know that Sheriff will not go down alone. And concerning what the police were saying, that they still up the police, the PDP venue. I thought what the police was saying. He said this summer that we are trying to be proactive. We are trying to be proactive. In the paper today, William Van was like that. They did not say that they want to be proactive in that matter. A lot of things happened today in the paper. Even the pipeline that they are bombing, they are not proactive in that matter. But the PDP that are saying that they are trying to be proactive, they are following court order, they are trying to sanitize the country. So I feel that the thing is just upside down and just. But to me, I feel PDP caused this problem. PDP were the ones that caused. When you made Sheriff the chairman, that was where the problem started from. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. When they made Sheriff the chairman, that is where the whole problem started from.
Some,
the conclusion
I said it earlier. Some people
gentleman.
invited him to come and take the position of the chairman. And he came in.
And he was duly elected.
Of course. He had 63 votes by the neck. About 3 of them contested.
But they weren't happy with that. Why?
Who wasn't happy?
Whoever they started taking themselves to court. You said, of course, he was elected.
No, before then, after that, the man started traveling up and down, bringing people together, bringing hope to the party. I told you he came to Lagos, he traveled across, spending his money. He resuscitated the National Secretariat, he paid all the debts and everything. We never knew him from Adam. Some people brought him all of a sudden.
There was even a time when they said he took over
the Secretariat. So all of a sudden, they now said they don't want him again. Okay, the man agreed. I said, okay, let's go and have a convention. And some people went to court. Do you understand me? The man agreed and called for that convention. But before the convention, some people went to court. Who are those people that went to court?
Okay, Mr. Idris from Zaria. Good morning, sir.
Morning. How are you, Mr. Yomi?
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you for this interesting discourse. I just want to make a comment on the last 2 speakers relating to whether the independence of the judiciary and the balance of the state and of the executive. Like I've been saying, what we are observing today is not something that just started today. It has been a culture of the lack of internal democracy that PDP has paraded for 16 years in this country. Yes, and we can say because there are different scenarios that we've seen how the judiciary has been either Armstrong coerced into doing what should not be done. The fact is this: the judiciary, with all honesty, they are just there to interpret laws, and you have to take care of the judiciary, then they will interpret it. Then, but how then did they fit the melody of the executive? That is what I cannot understand that people are asking. So I think we should look at it from the antecedents of what has been going on before we can make judgments or rather conclusions about what is happening. Everything does not just happen on the brief line. There are things that led to a lot of things like this. And it is nobody in this country will be surprised with what is happening to the PDP. In fact, it will have been more shocking that we have a different scenario than this. From this, sorry. So thank you, Mr. Ali. That's my contribution I want to make.
Thank you very much for making it. Thank you very, very much for making it. As he said, the courts are there to interpret the law.
The way they see it.
Well, the way that's the judge has the prerogative. The way they see it, they interpret it, and then we take it from there, and
exactly.
ultimately it ends up in the Supreme Court if there's contention.
Thank you very much.
After which everybody goes and chills.
Thank you very much.
But so far this hasn't reached there, and we have something of a judicial mess on our hands. But as that gentleman said, anybody who is sincere will not be surprised that the situation has come to this within the PDP. And you yourself had explained it.
That is the truth of the matter.
You yourself have explained it, that, well, in the past, it would have been a family affair. And the father of the family would have sorted this matter out as a family matter.
This is not the first time.
Not necessarily, justice might not necessarily have been top of the pack.
Nobody would have gone to court. It would have been sorted out. What is like, there is nobody, people are just interested in what they are interested in. So you see a lot of people wielding a lot of power without recourse to the constitution. We have a constitution in this party, and the constitution of the party can never supersede that of the government of Nigeria. That is what they are missing. Do you understand?
Yes.
So
in the past, the constitution of the party, I'm just guessing now, it wasn't exactly thrown away, but it could be put to a side in the interest of sorting it out from a peace, family matter.
We've had worse situation and we've sorted it out.
Mr. Martins, calling in from Ogudu. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Ayori.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir. How are you, sir?
Well, thank you.
Yeah, just to contribute.
Sure.
It's a nice development, I would say, as a person.
You say it's nice?
But, yes.
Which part of this is nice?
I'm calling from Ogudu.
No, I know, but which part of all of this is nice?
Because before now, a lot of things were in the dark as to the way a party and the individuals within that party behave and they run Nigeria as a country. Do you understand?
Yes, now I do.
You will now begin to see the impunity that a lot of people have been talking about. I do not see a civilized society where the so-called individuals who are supposed to be leaders, who are supposed to possess leadership quality, are beginning to behave as if they have never, ever understood the concept of leadership. That shows you why the country has been aground for all this while. When you have people in leadership positions that cannot show that quality of that leadership, what kind of governance do you expect to see? That on one side. Secondly, people go to the university to learn and have PhD in all manner of courses. Then they come back, they don't have one single iota of quality of behavior. Because when we go to school, they don't normally give us certificates based on what you wrote and exams. They say in character and learning. I remember when we graduated, they would say in character and learning. You now have a judiciary who will go ahead to bring more problems to the country based on the fact that somebody has given him money or based on the fact that they have different interests. I've said it before. The lawyers, the accountants, and the politicians are the three major people that we have as problems in this country. Because the accountant will tell you, oh, don't worry, we can always manage the figure. Then the lawyer will say, don't worry, we'll go to court. Then the politician will say, don't worry, we'll do it our way. And Nigerians sheepishly will always follow these people. And I keep saying it is unfortunate, but I also talk about the quality of followership we have in this country. As we speak now, the issue on ground, when 2019 comes, nobody will talk about it again. Nobody will be able to say, oh, this individual was the one causing problems the other time. Let's vote him out. Let's vote him in. The youth leader we're talking about now, that is speaking on the air now, is highlighting some point that some people are not seeing. You see, when you have a problem ab initio, the question is, tackle the roots. Don't begin to dress it as if, this thing doesn't have origin. There's an origin. Like you said, Modu Sharif was brought in as a spoiler. Whether you like it or not. But some people in PDP were going to benefit from that, so they didn't bother. Now that it has rubbed off on everybody, and everybody is inside the mud, they are not complaining again. How will you even bring somebody that was started as a Boko Haram sponsor to even become a party chairman in the first place? If we were to be in the same country, would this man not be in jail by now? Even if he's not being in jail, will he not be under investigation? And when someone is under investigation, is he qualified to even contest to be anything in anywhere in the world? So, Mr. Lawyer, I think it's a good development, but I want to believe that Nigerians will also learn their lesson, not just the political party. Thank you.
But, Mr. Martins, just before you go, Mr. Martins, is he still there?
I'm here.
Well, let's say the people themselves have messed it up. Now, when you go to the courts, what do you think of the behavior of the courts? If you have two justices, erudite justices.
I said the judiciary. You see that impunity.
That impunity. Okay, I don't know. I think the court is out. You see, because I see you were smiling there because there was some, but you see, the courts themselves, unfortunately, it's almost as if they're not very much different from the characters that are playing right now within the PDP.
I agree with you.
So every side has its own aspect of the judiciary.
Listen, I agree with you. This problem has to do with PDP. We should have realized, we should have known before now that we are playing into the hands of APC. Very simple. PDP are the one carrying themselves to court. Nobody is influencing anything. So the judiciary, like somebody said, they will just be making their money. They will be giving a lot of, they will have a lot of interest. They are not bothered. Nobody is going to check them. The president will not interfere. APC will not interfere. It's like two brothers, and they move on. It's simple. Why do you start it in the first place?
Yet you people say, you people said they're working
why
towards 2019. Yet you
say
you're working towards 2019.
Why should you go to a court that is being controlled by a government that you are not in charge? What do you expect? They will fuel it.
No, the court is not being controlled by any government.
No,
it's an independent arm of
the
judiciary.
I said something.
The judiciary is independent.
I believe we have external influences from both sides.
But the courts are independent. The judiciary is independent.
I never said they are not.
Okay.
But when you look at the judgment, this morning, when same courts of same status are giving conflicting statements under 48 hours, what are we saying? What are we saying?
Mr. Taufik Oshogbo, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Lori. And good morning to the youth leader in the house.
Good morning, sir.
This is Mr. Yori. To be sincere to ourselves, people have been saying there is no change in Nigeria. I believe this is part of the change. We have not been seeing all these ugly issues. It is very, very ugly. Why would the judiciary, for God's sake, be given the different ruling at some point in time? They don't want us to go back to double justice, for us to say we don't have any justice in the judiciary again? It's unfair. It's unfair. Please, the judiciary should take note of this. It's unfair. This is so ugly. Let's assume the ruling now is about sentencing someone to maybe a long period in prison. How will it look like? Now, on the other side, why will a judge be ruling a day before a convention? You should consider the cost involved. Some come from Maiduguri, some are coming from maybe Kano, down to Port Harcourt. They might have flown in yesterday. What about accommodation? You should look at the economic wasteful that he has caused to the economy. I think such a judge should be sanctioned. As a matter of fact, he should be sanctioned because he's not thinking that I'm an accountant. That's what I'm taking from this angle.
Yeah.
Money is involved in this issue.
Oh dear.
What he should have done a week before the convention, he would have made his pronouncement.
You see, these are the unfortunate aspects of this case because insinuations like this will begin to come in, and these do the judiciary no credit at all.
Exactly.
When Mr. Taufik is suggesting that
it should have been done earlier than when they have prepared everything just overnight.
No, but the suggestion that money is involved, again, you can't blame people for going there, even though perish the thought. But still, these are the kind of situations that we have on our hands. Now, after the May 21 convention
that's set up the caretaker committee.
Yes. Now, they had 90 days to come up with a repeat convention.
Yes.
And
it's going to last by 21st of August.
This is going to last in another 3 or 4 days, by the 21st. So where would that put us now?
Honestly, I don't know. That is the truth. There cannot be...
Because the convention cannot hold now. The 21st will come.
And
The 90 days would have lapsed.
Before 21st.
And he cannot hold before 21st,
Yes.
because they're going to, I
Yes.
don't know, they're probably going to have to go back to court.
My personal opinion is that the thing falls back on the
Modu Sharif.
National Working Committee.
Okay, well.
Because he was the one that called for the convention of 21st, was the chairman that called for the convention. Yes, he called for the convention of 21st. And he refused to go ahead based on the judgment from Justice Buba. Okay? And they still went ahead with the deputy chairman, Secondus, and the governor. They went ahead to create the caretaker committee, and they gave the caretaker committee 90 days. Now, once it lapses on the 21st, what happens? It has to fall back somewhere.
And it's anybody's guess. You say you're not sure what's going to happen.
I'm not too sure.
Mr. John calling in from Jalingo. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in, sir.
Yeah, morning. Uncle Yori. In fact, I'm a first-time caller.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you.
It has been long I tried to get you. I just want to, yeah, thank you. I just want to contribute on what you are saying over there. Yeah, you see, Uncle Yori, it appears that something is happening somewhere. You know, as if there are people that are manipulating this issue of this PDP, try to kill this party and then just have one opposition party, I mean, just one party system, which is going to be very terrible for this nation. And I don't see a reason why something just like somebody suggested, how can Abbas sit in Abuja and just be issuing rules like that? And they have the same powers with the one in Port Harcourt. For God's sake, if there is nobody backing him there, why can't the police follow the party of that person in Port Harcourt, the judge in Port Harcourt? I think we should be very careful on how we do things in this country. Because judiciary, as it is said, is the last hope of a common man. But as it is going now, honestly, we do not just have anything to hope for again.
Indeed.
It is surprising. How can somebody organize convention twice and twice it is turned down? What kind of thing is this? And the federal government is sitting down watching.
Well,
because somebody somewhere has to do something.
Thank you very much, John, calling in from Jalingo. Appreciate your call. As he said, no, quite frankly, it is INEC that said it was confused. He didn't know which one to now obey out of the two judgments. Now that matter has been sorted out for it. It can't even obey either. We're going to leave it here. We're leaving it in a state of confusion. Even you, as a member of the PDP, say, look, after the 21st, we don't know, nobody knows what's going to happen. And but you say you're still working assiduously towards taking over in 2019. You believe that one?
I believe that what is happening in PDP is just a child's play to what will happen to APC in another 1 month, 1 year. Let's leave it as that.
We're talking about PDP.
The issue of PDP.
We're talking about PDP.
Just listen. The issue of
We've
PDP
run out of time.
We are here. We are dancing.
We've run out of time.
Somebody is beating the drum outside. I think we just have to come back and watch. Where is this sound coming from?
So where is the drum coming from?
I think that is what we're supposed to do now as PDP member. Let us stop dancing. Who are the people beating this drum? Let's listen to it. Then we pick it from there.
Well, on that parable kind of note, Mr. Aladeinde, I want to thank you very much. Secretary of PDP in Lagos, Secretary of the Segun Adewale faction. There is still the other faction in that is the Salvador faction. But thank you very much for coming on. I'll be back tomorrow, God willing, with a fresh edition of the program. I'm Yori Folani. Bye-bye for now.